Welcome, welcome.
Okay, we are at the bottom of the hour. And my name is Megan Moore, and on behalf of the Center for Functional Nutrition, I'd like to welcome everybody this morning. We're delighted to have you here at our Sunday morning coffee house. And we absolutely enjoy and love doing this. And it really is in keeping with our mission statement to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. So without further ado, I would like to hand this coffee house, the Sunday morning coffee house, over to Brian Mariani. Brian?
Thank you, Megan. So wonderful to have you all with us this morning, and we're very grateful for you. We're very excited for today's coffee house. We have a really spectacular guest, and I'll be introducing him in a moment. But again, this is something that has been an incredible source for us personally throughout this pandemic, and for all of you that have joined us. You've been a big part of that, and we're just so grateful to be growing this with all of you, and we're going to continue to do it. That's our commitment to all of you and to us at the Center for Functional Nutrition. So without further ado, let's get to why we all showed up. So I have the pleasure of introducing a gentleman by the name of Wes Hamilton. I've gotten to know Wes a bit over the past month or so. And Wes is seriously one of the coolest interviews I've ever had the pleasure of doing. He is a fascinating person, and I was at the edge of my seat the whole time. And he is a master numerologist, and he's also has a very he has a strong business background. So I won't speak for him, but what's exciting to me, what really caught my attention, is that Wes takes the spiritual world and the energetic world and the business world, and he is able to assimilate that together. And he's worked with people all over the world to really help them achieve measurable results. So that was very attractive to me. Wes is also just a dear person, and I'm very excited to introduce him to all of you today. So Wes, are you there?
I am. Hi, Brian.
Awesome. Hey, Wes. So great to have you. And, just so everyone else can get to know you a bit, who are you and why are you here doing this today?
Well, it's a really good question. I guess I'd call myself a seeker most of my life. I've grown up with some strong work ethics. I grew up on a farm, and my dad was executive at Honeywell and traveled the world. And so I learned business skills, farming skills, and community skills at a very young age. And because I was around animals so much, I got very connected to the animal world, and the spirit world, of course, is always around the animals too. So it's just been a natural evolution of me learning about myself, spending hours and hours with animals. And then as I went down the path of life, I had some things happen to me that kind of shifted and shocked me. When I was 30 years old, my dad suddenly got sick and passed away in 90 days. And he was really a mentor of mine, and belonged to some groups that studied spirituality at a very deep level. And he kept teaching me different things. And so my question was, why did he have to leave so early? And that was part of my spiritual quest, to look to see, well, where do we go when we die? So that was my next quest, to find out what's going on after the physical body leaves. And many years later, during one of my self-reflection journaling moments, he came through and started to mentor me again. So that became a really cool way to reconnect with him. Throughout my life, I've had several businesses, been an entrepreneur, very successful investor, real estate broker for over 40 years. So my whole time in business was about getting people to understand why they want to do what they want to do. It became a passion of mine, and I was on a spiritual retreat in Sedona, Arizona for a couple of weeks with the Melchizedek priesthood. And that was quite an experience because I learned a lot of things. We had some Native Americans teaching us things, some ceremonies with sweat lodges and medicine wheels. And so that was a transformational period. And then during that retreat, I stayed an extra couple of days along with a couple other people, and walking through Boynton Canyon and with a couple of people. And this lady walking side of me was talking to me and asking my name and my birth date and that sort of thing. And I thought, boy, I just met you a couple hours ago. You're kind of intrusive here. And anyway, she told me all about myself. And I said, how'd you do that? We've only known each other a couple hours. She said, well, I'm a therapist and I do numerology to help my clients. And so she said, if you're ever interested, let me know. I'll show you some things about it. So she was kind of cute. And I said, sure, I'll keep in touch. And so anyway, she sent me a big bunch of papers, and it was apparently my numerology reading, but I had no clue what it was. So she called a few days later and said, how did you like what I sent you? I said, I don't get it. So we ended up working together, actually dating. She lives in Florida, I live here. So every other month we flew back and forth for 3 years. So I got to understand numerology, and that was one of the key pieces of a big change in my life. I got to understand there's an order and a system to the universe. I liked it because it's mathematical and scientific. Pythagoras was the one that put it together for our system. I started doing readings for people, and they were astounded about how they always thought things and felt things, but they never had any proof of it. So I got excited about doing readings. I was able to show them where they're at in life today, where they've been in life. And if I could get people to believe that the things in the past really happened because it was the order of their life, and then I could ask them, is what I'm telling you now going on in your life? Yeah, that's what's happening. So there's a pretty good chance what I'm going to tell you in the future is going to happen. They're like, oh my God, really? So that became really a fun thing for me as I was doing that, kind of a hobby as I was doing my real estate sales. And afterwards, it seemed like more and more people needed help in their business decisions and in their personal life decisions about relationships and marketing and what are they really supposed to do in business. So I shifted my focus into coaching people. That became a huge revelation for myself and the people I was working with. They wanted more. And then I started teaching meditation classes. That was another big pivot in my life. I was dating a gal, and we were both a little bit dysfunctional. That's why we got along. And so she started to get more sane and better. And I said, what are you doing? And she said, I'm learning meditation. I said, God, I want to join your class. So I called her teacher, and teacher said, well, the class is full. You're going to have to wait another 3 or 4 months. Well, it was not my idea of yippee skippy. So anyway, I waited and joined the class, and that was another life-changing thing. I was in a class called Awakening Your Light Body, and it fascinated me. It changed my life within about a year, and we went every week. I asked my teacher to teach me more, and she said, well, you've gone as far as I've gone. You have to go to my teacher. So I went to California and took lots and lots of training from the teachers. And that has become a major piece of the coaching work I do. The meditation work changes the frequency or the vibration of who we are, kind of like oils do and energy work. This changes it through our brain power. And actually, Dr. Joe Dispenza just, at least I just found him, there's a series on Gaia.com that he's explained scientifically why meditation works to help us change our life and change our beliefs and our acceptance of ourselves. So what I've ended up doing in the last several years, and it looks like that's where I'm going anyway, at least according to my numerology chart, I was encouraged in my chart to shut down my very successful real estate business. So I shut that down last year, and I've been doing more and more of what I call a spiritual life leadership coaching program. And it's amazing to watch people find themselves, get their health back, develop relationships with the people they're with. It's been fascinating, Brian, to watch people evolve and letting them do it instead of me having to do it for them. I hold a place for them, I support them, and I teach them and coach them. So I guess one of the things I've learned most of all about my journey so far in life is when you know who you are, then you'll know more what to do. And if you know what to do, then you'll know what to say. So discovering that, another pivot happened in my life where I was journaling again one day, and Merlin, the wizard from long ago, 600 AD, came in and said, are you ready for me to work with you? And I said, really? So people have been giving me Merlin dolls and statues for years, and I asked them why. And they said, well, you kind of look or feel like Merlin. So anyway, Merlin started to teach me things, and oh my God, we've developed all kinds of coaching programs using his wisdom. We are just completing a program now where people are stuck moving forward. We're calling it Pivot Your Destiny. Merlin's given us a great assessment that we call the Core Passion Assessment. We use it, actually, it's been validated by psychologists and methodologists. We actually use it in the commercial business world for team building and leadership. And when you've got a program that's measurable, because our Core Passion Assessment actually has a measurement, a bar chart, numbers to it, that's when people, okay, that's what I believe. It's way beyond a theory. It became real. So we've created a program to help people find their way again. They're kind of stuck right now with this bug that we're all facing. And then the economy's falling apart. So if we look back on time, we've had some measurable plagues and illnesses that have happened. And numerology actually says these are going to happen every 90 to 100 years. And I became aware of a major change coming on in 2017. I write a monthly forecast, and you can find it on my website, weshamilton.com. And in that monthly forecast in 2017 in January, I started talking about manifesting your mastery, become a master of something. Wake up and learn more about who you are. And in 2017, it says, according to numerology, we're entering a new 9-year cycle of being more human. We've got to learn about we instead of I. And each year we move into it. 2018 was more about how do you develop a different relationship. 2019 was about finding more joy in your life. You know, we work, and a lot of the times when I'm working with people, I start in getting them aware of work-life balance and where's their joy. And boy, to get some of these high-driving men and women who own huge corporations to slow down and meditate for 20, 30 minutes. That takes it takes about 2 to 3 months to get them to believe it because they start changing. But the work-life balance is huge. People seem to be so proud of being busy and productive. And when they realize they can be more productive and less busy and find joy, that changes their life. And I have a fellow in California I've been working with for about a year, and actually his therapist sent him to me. He was having anxiety attacks and in the hospital, and they couldn't find anything wrong with him. So I got him to start meditating and walking outside and journaling. And I love to use tarot cards. So I said, how would you like to have some answers that you could find yourself each day? He's like, oh, that'd be great. How do I do that? So I sent him some tarot cards I love to use called Tarot of the Spirit. And he said, Wes, you're teaching me woo. Is it working? He said, yeah. You want to continue? Yeah, I do. So it's been a little over a year now that we've been working together, and he's lost a lot of weight. He's not been in the hospital for months. He's off his medication. He's made a few more $1 million. And he said, I kind of feel guilty. I'm so happy. I'm so successful, and the world around me is falling apart. I said, well, maybe it's time for you to share how you're getting there. So he's like, huh, I never thought about that. So what's happening with this awakening within us, we actually find our spirit. And we find our spirit has always been a part of us. Our spirit and our soul have more patience than we do. It waits almost a lifetime sometimes to have us find it. And I'll tell you what's been interesting over this last year that I've been working with people. People are talking about not only this third dimension we live in, but they're starting to access the fourth and fifth dimension. And you do that through developing your consciousness to a higher frequency. And in that fourth and fifth dimension, we actually create our reality in this third dimension. And it's fascinating when you learn how to work from on top of the mountain down instead of trying to climb the mountain every day. And that has been really fun to explore with people. I get to find people to work with that want more. They've tried many things. Many people have been in therapy for years, and they're looking for more. And my first marriage was to a therapist, and she did some amazing work with them. And she was also very spiritual, so she introduced them to the spirit world at the same time. I guess my main purpose in life, and I think I'd like everybody to remember and know, is if you really spend time with who you are, get to the core of it, put some words to it, not what you do, but who are you at a deep level. And I call myself a spiritual leader, facilitating change in seekers who are ready to change the world. And I do many things. I've had over 15 very, very successful businesses, all the way from home remodeling, wallpapering and painting. I was the top wallpaper hanger in the Minneapolis area here where I am. And people used to say, you know, Hitler used to be a wallpaper hanger. Okay, well, I got a different attitude. You know, I want to be a leader, but I got a better attitude. So it was kind of fun to go through these different careers. I enjoy every one of them. One of my pivot points in life was I was so busy working, and I was working without a day off for 12 years. I was so proud of that. And then back in the 90s, early 90s, we had another one of these financial crises, and I had to file bankruptcy. Over millions of dollars, give it all away, one signature. And I knew that spirit was with me because the next week I had lots more people that wanted my services, my work, my remodeling, and and my teaching. So it was a huge weight off my shoulders to get rid of millions of dollars in debt. The sad part was a few more $1 million in equity, but it got me to reprioritize my values. And when I work with people, I ask them to make a list of values that they live by. And I ask them to make a list of 12 of them. And if you go on the internet, you'll find probably 100 or 200 of them. And in my work, I've discovered that the values we live by are the guard at the gate. And if you can get the guard at the gate to be in alignment with your intuition and your spirit, that's when things really take off. And we're all going through a life change right now. And it's time to upgrade or update your values. Because when we go through a change, we try to bring our old values with us. And it's kind of like wearing old shoes or old clothes or an old car that doesn't work anymore. You need to get a new one, or at least remodel what you got. So that's been a huge piece. And then my wife Lori and I created what I call that core passion assessment. That measures why. And it's what we call the voice of your inner spirit. And if you have the ability to measure why you're doing something and look at your numerology about who you are and have a idea and understanding and a belief in the values you live by, you've really begun your path of self-mastery. And I think that's what all of us are here to do, trying to find ourselves, define ourselves, work with ourselves. We are amazing spiritual beings having a human experience, and there's ways to find out more about who we are. So meditation, all those things are key factors. So that's who I am, and that's what I've been doing, Brian. And anything else you'd like me to talk about? But I'm enjoying life. It's amazing.
Yeah, Wes, thank you. That was, again, I just enjoy how you put things together, your experience and your expertise. And so much of what you shared is so present in my own life and my own thinking about what's possible as a human and a spiritual being. And everything that you shared is just so in alignment with my want for the world, which, you put it beautifully, essentially creating opportunities and learning opportunities for people to engage in their own self-discovery so that they can then share that and impact lives to the degree that that's right for them. And I just really appreciate you and the work that you do and how you can bring that into context in a very measurable and impactful way. So I just personally want to thank you. I'm very honored to be building this partnership with you, and thank you very much.
Thank you for allowing me to share some of this.
Yeah. So I'm going to be quiet. I'm sure there's other people that maybe have a question or a comment. So if you do, please just give me a wave, unmute yourself, and feel free to ask Wes a question or make a comment. Catherine, go for it.
Hey, Catherine.
Catherine, you're muted.
All right.
There we go.
Wes and I go way back. You're one of the first people I found, I think, when I moved from San Francisco to Minneapolis. And I am a testament to his expertise. You were the first one to first tell me, after 5 years of being here, that I didn't make a mistake moving from San Francisco to Minnesota, which every time my husband and I got into a fight, I would say that I had. It was quite a culture shock. But I also remember sitting at Caribou Coffee and you saying, there's a book I want you to read, and it's Ask and It Is Given, which was Abraham's book. So you introduced me to that. And you were the first one when you did this reading with my brother John and I that said we were twin personalities, which has a lot of significance to me since John passed away a couple years ago. And I'm now writing a book that's kind of similar to what you're talking about, you and Merlin. So you've been a huge impact in my life, and I am a testament to how Wes can really contribute to wherever you're at. So I'm so excited to see you participating here. It's really, really beautiful.
Yes, Catherine and I go way back, and we do similar things from different approaches. And after her talk a few weeks ago on here, she said, I'm not sure if I'm in the world of spirit or the world of psychology. And I said, Catherine, you're the bridge. Bridge. So, yeah, thanks, Catherine.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Catherine. And thank you for bringing Wes to this. Thank you very much. Anyone else with a comment or a question? Give me a wave. Let me know you're there. Yes, Ginger, go for it.
Yes. Did you say something about Zaya.com?
Gaia.
Gaia.
Yeah, it's a great place to belong to. There's hundreds of mystery things, the pyramids, science, relationships, energy work. It's my go-to channel when I've got a free moment to enjoy those kind of things.
Okay, thank you. I surely enjoyed listening to you. It's very, very interesting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. All right, I'm looking for anyone else waving. Hold on 1 second, Carol. I just want to respond to Cindy in the chat. If you look at the invitation that we sent out for the coffee house, that has Wes's information in it. So the best way to get in touch with Wes is to go to his website, weshamilton.com, and all of his information is right there. And Wes has already agreed that he's more than happy to, connect with anyone on here. So that's how you can get in touch with Wes. Carol Patty, Gaia, yes, G-A-I-A. That's how you spell Gaia. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I misspelled it. G-A-I-A. Okay.
G-A-I-A, Gaia.com.
All right. Thanks.
I think I saw Megan. Did you have a hand up? Yep.
Yes, thank you so much, Wes. Your sweetness and gentleness is wonderful to be present to, so thank you. Along with your tremendous expertise and knowledge and life experience. And what is so heartening is to hear you speak to our humanness. And that I think what I understand you to say is that this is really the mandate, or this is the mission of our age right now. And maybe in some odd way, COVID has something to do with us learning a lot more about that, because we've had to, in all, and I keep fighting against it. I keep fighting against that because it's asking us to change, and some things that it's asking I don't like. And but one thing that it has, I remember way back at the beginning, I was listening to somebody, and this is the first time where the whole world is at home. Everybody is at home. And that was significant for me. And it has caused me in my own life, and I know many other people, to step back and to say, hey, to answer some of the questions that you've been talking about. So I think it's just to say thank you for bringing that. And in a way, it's almost like a relief to hear that.
Thank you. Yes, the old saying, we have to have a breakdown before we have a breakthrough. Mm-hmm. This year and next year, according to my numbers, are the breakdown. And that's why my wife Lori and I put together a package called Pivot Your Destiny, that you can actually find a way to get back on track. And interesting that COVID-19 does add up to a life-changing transformation. And I do believe the bug is here to bring that to us.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Wes. Russell, go for it.
Wes, hi. I'm Russell Mariani, the proud father of Brian Mariani, who you have met, and
Yeah.
Megan, who just spoke so beautifully. So thank you very much. I felt a lot of things as you spoke and shared, and I mostly felt alignment with my own purpose in life. So I want to thank you for that. And just a couple of quick things. You said, you mentioned this term, guardians at the gate. And we are the guardians at the gate. And this gate is the gateway of transformation, the gate of change. And then I don't remember who said this. Maybe it was Nelson Mandela or Gandhi, but, be the change you want to see in the world. And the reason to meditate, the reason to be at home is to remind us all that we are the ones that we've been waiting for. So ordinary people can cause extraordinary change. And really, I think that's what I heard in your message today. And that's something I resonate with very much. And we want to empower everyone to, as you said, find out who they are. And when you do that, you almost, at a certain point, you want to change, you want to share with others, encourage others to do that same thing. So thank you very much. Very, very beautiful sharing this morning. Really appreciate you and all the work that you've done in your life to get to this point. We're all on the same team. We're all in this together.
We are. Thanks, Russell. Appreciate that.
Awesome. Yes. Thanks, Russell. And again, thank you, Wes, and everyone. Wes has a very comprehensive, beautifully laid out website, weshamilton.com. And again, he has told me many times he's more than happy to connect with anybody here. And as he said, he has this program that's exceptionally cutting edge, hot off the press. It's in the numbers. So thank you so much, Wes. And I look forward to our growing partnership here. So that will conclude our incredible feature today. And as always, we love to end our coffee house with what we like to call some good news, a good news sharing. Someone in the community steps up and just shares a song or a poem or a recipe, something to just leave us all with smiles. And there's someone out in Arizona that always has me smiling every time I connect with him. And his name is Jay Uhler. And I'm very excited to have him on our coffee house. He will be a feature presenter. So you'll get a small little taste of what he's up to today. So I'll pass it over to you, Jay, and can't wait to hear what you'll be sharing. You're just gonna have to unmute yourself, Jay. There you are. Oh, you muted yourself again.
There we go. Okay.
Now you're on. Awesome.
So I always like to sing this song in honor of my parents. They were married for 70 years. They both lived to be in their 90s. They rode an extra cycle right up to the time of their passing. So some people say to me sometimes, well, you have great genes. Well, I say I had great models. Holy mackerel, this is ridiculous. I couldn't imagine anybody calling me this early in the morning. But you guys in Boston, you got a whole different lifestyle. So anyway, I say I had great models because my parents, they ate well, they exercised, they went to church regularly, they were really involved in all elements of spiritual life. So they were great models. So they were also young at heart. Fairy tales can come, pardon me, I need a drink of water here. Fairy tales can come true, it can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible schemes. You can laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams. And life gets more exciting with each passing day. And love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, think of all you'll derive out of being alive. And here is the best part. You have a head start if you are among the very young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, think of all you'll derive out of being alive. And here is the best part. You have a head start if you are among the very young at heart.
Great.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you, Jay.
That was great.
Thank you, Jay. Woo! Well, I think I predicted. I see a lot of smiles out there. So thank you so much, Jay. You're such a light. And this is why we do what we do, everybody. I mean, every week we get to come together and we get to learn, we get to grow, we get to laugh, smile. There's probably been a few tears here and there. And this is only possible because we come together. And without you, this doesn't exist. So thank you all so very much. And thank you to Wes. Thank you to Jay. Thank all of you. Have a wonderful Sunday. We'll see you back here next week. Have a good one, everybody.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.